Alright, let's get straight to the point. Mashle, Magic and Muscles, is fucking awesome. How awesome? Well, I'll tell ya. First off, I think there's some explaining in order. Number 1, my name is Tyler, and number 2, what is Mashle? Mashle is a manga with an interesting premise. What if Goku was born in Harry Potter world? That's not the real premise, that's just a funny joke. The real premise is that there exists a world full of magic. Magic is a fundamental part of this world's society, including its religion. It is believed that the very god of this world bestowed magic upon his people, and from the farthest reaches of history, magic has been present in the world. So, those that can use magic are God's chosen people, the people made in God's image. However, there does exist people in this world that can't use magic, since magic is considered to be a sign of divinity, even including a physical marking that displays that so-called divinity on the face. Those that can't use magic must not be part of God's children, right? Well, at least that's the dominant view of this world anyway, and from this world comes our main character. His name is Burnedead, and he can't use magic. Although Mash can't use any magic, he can do something else to function in this society, and that is being a fucking beast in the gym. Look at this gym bro right here, and those aren't any fake weights. No, he doesn't even skip leg day either. His athleticism is so insane that he can bend coins on a whim, and he can even fly in the air by kicking it. His kicks are so powerful that he is able to fly. Do you realize how awesome that is? And this is an ongoing theme in the series. The series is called Magic and Muscles for a reason. Mash combats enemies and even the world itself that condemns him with athleticism. He faces against magic and he finds a way to win without it. Now that is already awesome in itself, but what's also awesome and that I greatly appreciate is that this series is actually very funny. Just like how Goku was raised by an elderly man named Gohan in the mountains, Mash is raised by an elderly man named Regro in the forest. And actually, there are other similarities here too. Goku, as we know, was found alone as a baby with a peculiarity about him, that being his tail. Mash was found alone as a baby with a peculiarity about him, that being his lack of a magic mark. This fulfills the classic unusual birth of a hero. Due to having to be practically hidden from the entire world, Mash didn't really develop any social skills. This leads him to being hilariously dense, a terrible liar, and laugh-inducingly honest. Mash does the funniest things, and the one thing that he does very often that I always find hilarious is when he tears a door from its hinges. Occasionally, Mash has trouble opening doors, and to remedy this problem, he just rips it off from the wall. I fucking love this guy. Anyway, Mash finally comes into conflict with the world that doesn't want him around, and now, in order to bring his life back to a peaceful way it used to be, he must enter into magic school and become a divine visionary. That basically means that he must be accepted as one of God's chosen, whether the majority of society likes it or not. With that, Mash accepts the call to adventure of his hero's journey. And also, just to sidetrack a little, Mash has an unusual birth. He can run on water, and he lives in a world that tries to persecute him. It kind of sounds like Mash is the Jesus of this world. Or maybe it's all just a coincidence. And that is the premise of Mashle. It's not exactly Goku being raised in Harry Potter world, but now that you know what's really going on, am I really that far off? Anyway, that's just the tip of the awesomeness that is Mashle. Let's continue to assess this iceberg. So it's one thing for our hero to say he's going to be entering into magic school, but then it's another thing to actually get in. For some reason, the magic school that our hero, or this guy who threatens Mash into enrolling into magic school, chose was one of the most prestigious magic schools ever. That school is so tough to get into that it only has an enrollment passing rate of 3%. This doesn't make any sense. To provide some more context, the whole reason Mash goes on this journey in the first place is because he is found out by this guy, a corrupt police officer, to not be able to use magic. This guy threatens to expose Mash unless he agrees with his gamble. Enter into magic school, become chosen as a divine visionary to gain assured protection for him and his pops, and then give him the prize money of 1 billion smackaroos and whatever cool shit comes with it. This plan makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is why choose this school? Why choose a super prestigious, hard to get in school? Why not choose like a public school? It's at this point, very early on in the series, that the tone is established. And that tone is, hey, don't take this too seriously. Not everything has to make sense. We got some action, we got some laughs, we got some serious moments, we got some gaffes, we got some lighthearted moments, we got some giggles. Overall, we're here to tell a story, so buckle up and enjoy the ride. If you like that tone, then great. You're probably going to like Mashle. But if you don't, then fuck you. Anyway, this plebeian-hating douchebag right here is running the exam, and he does everything that he can to try to fail Mash. Unfortunately for him though, but unfortunately for us, Mash is able to defeat all of these attempts with his athleticism. One of these hurdles happens to be a femme fatale, a girl named Lemon, that appears all weak until she binds Mash. Mash is of course stronger than these bindings. He saves her from the Sphinx that probably would have clobbered her. He crashes through a maze just by walking through it, and at the end of all of this, Lemon falls madly in love with him. And that isn't even the end for Mash's struggles to get into the school. Next, Mash's examiner gets pissed off and he starts to summon magic to display how strong he is. But Mash easily takes care of him by breaking his wand. And the way that it is drawn, I think, is very ballsy, because what I think that it's supposed to represent with Mash breaking the wand is him figuratively breaking his dick. There's no other way around it. That's what it appears to be. Mash breaking this guy's dick with his fist. He completely emasculates him, and it's fucking funny. After this, Mash is transported to this world's Dumbledore, and his character is challenged. This guy's name is Wahlberg, and he wants to know if Mash is a good guy or not by threatening his father. Mash displays that he's not going to let others bully him around, and now with Wahlberg's approval, Mash is accepted into magic school. And now, I finally get to talk about magic school. So, I have seen the Harry Potter movies, and in middle school, I did take some time reading a few of the books. I never got through the Goblet of Fire. I tried, but I was never a super Harry Potter fan, is what I'm trying to say. I knew that it existed. However, if you fucking love Harry Potter, and you've already done a blood oath to name your first daughter Hermione and your second daughter Luna, well guess what? You're gonna fucking love the story from this point on. We have magic classes, we have Quidditch, we have houses, we have bullies, we have this thing, we have friends, we have magical creatures deciding what house you belong to, we have magical racism. Not saying that's a good thing, because it's not. I'm just saying that it's here, in the story. Just like Harry Potter. We have magic prison escape, we have chessboards, we have wand shopping, and we also have wizard tournaments. There is a saying by the creator of Star Wars, I'm talking about George Lucas here, and that saying is, it's like poetry. They rhyme. I always think of that saying when I think of Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones is the rhyme to the Lord of the Rings, and I think that holds true here, with Mashle being the rhyme to Harry Potter. Mashle in many ways deconstructs what Harry Potter is at its core, but with appreciation. There is absolutely no possibility in my mind where I can see the creator of Mashle hating Harry Potter. I think that the creator of Mashle probably loves Harry Potter as much as how much George R.R. Martin loves the Lord of the Rings. And to further my point, what is the most defining characteristics of the character of Harry Potter? One of the defining characteristics of Harry Potter is that he is a marked hero. He has a scar on his forehead. And this is kind of similar to Mash in that he is an unmarked hero. He was born without a magical mark on his face while everyone else does. So in a way, he's a marked hero by being unmarked. Man, it's kind of like poetry. They rhyme. In conclusion, Mashle is something you need to read right now. The series is still ongoing with no end at sight, and since I began reading the series, it has brought me a smile every week. I freaking love this series so much, and even if you only have 1/128th of a soul remaining in your body, you will love this series too. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, make sure to click the like button and subscribe so that way you can be updated when I make new videos. I also upload videos on other platforms such as BitChutes and even have exclusives available. So if you're interested in that stuff too, you should check it out.